Every single morning, 40 million Americans wake up exhausted. Not tired, exhausted. Like they've been awake for days even though they slept 8 hours. I know because I was one of them for 23 years. And I know because I've watched my closest friends fade away, not from heart disease, not from diabetes, but from chronic fatigue that wore them down until they couldn't function anymore. I am 105 years old. I live alone. I woke up this morning with more energy than people half my age. And here's what nobody told any of us at our doctor's appointments. Not mine, not Harold's, not the specialists who cost us thousands of dollars and decades of hope. In 85% of cases, your exhaustion has nothing to do with sleep quality. It's not insomnia. It never was. The sleep aids, the melatonin, the magnesium supplements, the expensive mattresses, every single one of them aimed at the wrong problem entirely. I tried them all. At 82, at 87, at 93. I spent money I didn't need to spend on solutions that did nothing but make the companies rich. Here's the thing about being 105. You stop being polite about uncomfortable truths. The medical system makes billions when you stay tired, dependent, and buying their products. It doesn't make a single dollar when you discover what's actually draining your energy and fix it yourself with nothing but one simple food and 15 minutes each morning. If every person over 60 understood this one mechanism, understood what happens to their cellular energy production when they eat this common food, the supplement industry would collapse overnight. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you something that took me 98 years to discover. Something no doctor ever explained to me. Something I had to piece together from watching my friends disappear into a fog of exhaustion they never recovered from. From failing with every energy drink and vitamin and well-meaning advice anyone ever gave me. I'm going to tell you what actually works, why it works, and something far more important than any physical remedy. It started when I was 82. That's when the mornings changed. I had always been an early riser. My late husband Robert used to say I had more energy at 6 a.m. than most people had all day. Energy was never something I worried about. It was just there, like breathing, like my heartbeat. Then one morning I woke up and felt like I was moving through thick honey. Every task took twice as long. By afternoon, I was dragging myself from room to room. I told myself it was nothing. One bad day. Everyone my age had tired days. Except it wasn't one day. Within 6 months, I was exhausted every single morning. By the time I was 85, I was barely functional until noon. By 88, I was taking 3 naps a day and still feeling drained. I would go to bed at 9 p.m., sleep for 9 hours, and wake up feeling like I hadn't slept at all. I was tired in a way that went into my bones. I was forgetting things constantly. Where I put my keys, whether I'd taken my medication. My daughter started visiting more often, watching me with worried eyes. I went to my doctor. He checked my thyroid. He tested my iron levels. He ordered blood work for everything imaginable. He gave me a pamphlet about aging and energy and a prescription for B12 injections that made no difference whatsoever. The exhaustion continued without interruption. I went to specialists. A cardiologist. An endocrinologist. A sleep specialist who made me wear monitors and tracked my brain waves. At the end of every appointment, I heard the same words in various forms. At your age, this is quite normal. We can manage the symptoms. Manage them. Not fix them. Manage them. I drove home from that last appointment and sat in my car feeling defeated. I was 89 years old and being told that the rest of my life would be spent managing exhaustion. That I would wake up tired, struggle through my days, and accept this as my new normal. I decided that was not acceptable. But it took me years to find the real answer. My friend Harold was 91 when his energy crashed. Harold had been a construction foreman for 40 years. A strong, vibrant man who built half the houses in our neighborhood with his own hands. He was not someone who complained about being tired. But when he told me over coffee that he felt like he was running on empty every single day, I could see something in his eyes that frightened me. Not just fatigue. Something deeper. Like his life force was dimming. Harold tried everything the doctors suggested. He took iron supplements that upset his stomach. He bought an expensive sleep system. He tried meditation, yoga, acupuncture. He saw specialists in 3 different cities. They found mild anemia, adjusted his medications, suggested dietary changes, and sent him home. Harold moved in with his son at 94. Not because he had a major health crisis. Not because he fell or had a stroke. He moved in because he was so exhausted he didn't trust himself to live independently anymore. The fatigue had ground him down until this man who once worked 12-hour days couldn't manage his own household. I visited him there until he passed at 96. The last thing he said to me was, "Nancy, I just don't understand why I never got my energy back." It broke my heart because by then I had finally discovered the answer, and it wasn't what any of us expected. Let me tell you what actually causes chronic exhaustion in people our age, because I spent 3 years researching everything I could find, testing theories, cross-referencing studies with what I observed in my own body. And when I finally understood the mechanism, I wanted to call Harold and say, it was sugar. It was refined carbohydrates. It was what you ate for breakfast every single morning for 30 years. Here's what happens. Every time you eat sugar, refined flour, processed cereals, pastries, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. Your pancreas responds by releasing massive amounts of insulin to bring that sugar down. But in older bodies, our cells become resistant to insulin. They can't absorb the glucose efficiently anymore. So your pancreas works harder, releasing even more insulin. This creates a vicious cycle. High insulin levels block fat burning and trigger inflammation throughout your body. Your mitochondria, the energy factories in your cells, become damaged and produce less energy. Meanwhile, your blood sugar crashes a few hours later, leaving you exhausted and craving more sugar. You wake up tired because your body spent all night trying to process the sugar you ate the day before. You reach for coffee and toast or cereal to get energy, which starts the whole cycle over again. Your energy crashes by mid-morning, so you eat something sweet. Another crash. Another sugar fix. Day after day, year after year, until your cellular energy production is completely broken. This is why the sleep studies didn't help Harold. His sleep was fine. His energy production was broken. This is why the iron supplements didn't work. His iron was fine. His blood sugar regulation was destroyed from decades of eating what he thought was a healthy breakfast. Nobody told either of us that the bowl of oatmeal with banana and brown sugar that Harold ate every morning for 30 years was slowly destroying his cellular energy. Nobody explained that the orange juice I drank every day was keeping my insulin levels so high that my body couldn't burn fat for fuel. Here's what I do now. Every single morning without exception, I eat one simple food. 1 egg. That's it. Not 2 eggs, not an omelet with vegetables, not egg with toast. 1 plain egg, soft-boiled, with nothing added. No salt, no butter, no sides. Just that. 1 egg contains perfect protein that stabilizes blood sugar for hours. It provides every essential amino acid your body needs for cellular repair. It has 0 carbohydrates, so it triggers no insulin response. It contains choline for brain function and B vitamins for energy production. I eat this 1 egg at 7 a.m. every morning and nothing else until noon. This gives my body 5 hours to burn stored fat for energy instead of constantly processing sugar. My energy levels stay completely stable. No crashes, no cravings, no afternoon exhaustion. I also removed every form of sugar and refined carbohydrate from my diet. No bread, no pasta, no cereal, no fruit juice, no desserts. I eat meat, fish, eggs, and vegetables. That's it. I drink only water, black coffee, and plain tea. Within 2 weeks of making this change, I noticed my morning energy was different. Within a month, I was waking up naturally without an alarm, feeling genuinely rested. Within 3 months, I had more sustained energy throughout the day than I'd had in 20 years. But here's what matters more than the physical protocol. What I discovered about energy goes far deeper than food. At 102, I realized something that changed everything. Your physical energy is directly connected to your spiritual energy. When you have no purpose, when you're not contributing anything meaningful to the world, your body responds by shutting down. I spent 2 years after Robert died going through the motions of living without really being alive. I was eating correctly, sleeping well, but I was hollow inside. I would wake up and wonder why I needed to get up. Not dramatically, just practically. What was the point? Then my great-granddaughter asked me to teach her how to knit. Something Robert's mother had taught me 60 years earlier. We spent hours together, her small hands learning the rhythm of needles and yarn while I shared stories about the woman who had taught me. By the end of our time together, she had made a scarf. I had remembered why I was still here. That feeling of being needed, of passing something valuable to the next generation, did something to my energy that no food ever could. I started teaching knitting to children at the community center. Then I began writing letters to elderly people in nursing homes who had no family visitors. Then I started a small garden where I grow vegetables for neighbors who can't afford fresh produce. My body didn't dramatically change from any of this. I didn't grow younger or stronger. But something shifted that I believe is directly connected to why I'm still here, still functional, still waking up with energy and purpose. Meaning is fuel. Purpose is medicine. Being needed generates more sustainable energy than any supplement or superfood. When you feel useful, when your days have meaning beyond just maintaining your own comfort, your cellular energy production responds accordingly. I want to say something directly to anyone listening who struggles with chronic fatigue. Your body isn't failing you randomly. It's responding to what you're feeding it, physically and spiritually. Every exhausted morning is your body asking for different fuel and your soul asking for different purpose. Start with the egg. 1 egg every morning for 2 weeks. Nothing else until noon. No exceptions, no modifications, no just this once. Your blood sugar needs time to stabilize and your insulin sensitivity needs time to recover. Remove sugar completely. All of it. The obvious sugar and the hidden sugar in bread, pasta, and processed foods. This isn't a diet you go on and off. This is how you need to eat if you want sustained energy after 60. But also find something meaningful to do. Not a hobby, not entertainment, but something that serves others. Teach someone a skill you have. Write letters to lonely people. Volunteer at a food bank. The specific activity matters less than the feeling of being useful. What happens in your body when you combine stable blood sugar with genuine purpose will surprise you. Not immediately, but over weeks and months. The mornings will feel different. The dragging exhaustion will lift. The mental fog will clear. This isn't motivational speaking. This is biochemistry. A person with stable blood sugar and meaningful purpose has different hormone levels than someone riding sugar crashes while feeling useless. That difference, maintained over time, is the difference between vitality and exhaustion. I'm not a doctor. I'm a 105-year-old woman who figured out why I was tired and fixed it. I'm still here because I eat 1 egg every morning like it's medicine, because it is. I'm still here because I stopped poisoning my blood sugar with foods that felt familiar but were killing my energy. But I'm still here, still sharp, still energetic because I never stopped being useful. Because I kept choosing purpose over comfort, contribution over convenience. The medical system will manage your symptoms. It's excellent at that. It will give you medications for fatigue while ignoring the sugar that's causing it. It will offer you treatments while leaving the root cause untouched. I'm asking a different question for you. What is actually draining your energy? Not which organ system is involved, but what are you eating that's breaking your blood sugar regulation, and what are you missing that would give your life meaning? The answer is simpler than you think and more powerful than any prescription. My name is Nancy Jane. I'm 105. I woke up this morning with perfect energy. I ate one egg at 7 a.m., taught knitting to 3 children this afternoon, and wrote 4 letters to people who needed them. Then I sat down to tell you this because Harold deserved to know, and so do you.